Hello surgical utopians. Today our topic is the mandibular fracture. There are different classifications of mandibular fractures. The first one that was given in 1964 by Dingman and Natwick. It was based on the anatomical region. So the first one is the symphysis fracture. The symphysis fracture is the fracture which will occur in the symphysis region over here. So in this fracture, the fracture line passes just between the two incisors, the central incisors. Next is the parasymphysis fracture. The parasymphysis fracture will pass from medially to the canine region over here. So this is the parasymphysis fracture of the right side. Similarly, this is the parasymphysis fracture running from here on the left side. Next is the body fracture. The body fracture we see here will occur over here in the corpus mandibular region. Next is the angle fracture. The angle fracture will start from the third molar region and extend up till the gonion. Next fracture according to the location is the ramus fracture. We will see it on this side over here, the fracture of the ramus. So this is the ramal fracture. Next, the coronoid fracture involving the coronoid process, and then the condylar fracture over here. See, this is the condylar fracture. And next fracture is the fracture occurring in the dentoalveolar region. So involving the alveolus over here, this is the dentoalveolar fracture. So this was according to the Dingman's and Natwick's classification that was given in 1964 based on the anatomical location. Next classification is the Kazanjian and Converse classification, which was given in 1928, and this classification was based on presence or absence of teeth in respect to the fracture line. Now suppose this is the fracture. So in class 1 fracture, teeth are present on both the sides of the fracture line. This is the fracture and both the sides teeth are present. Whereas in class 2, on one side teeth will not be present. So this is the fracture line and teeth are present on one side and there is edentulous region on the another side. In class 3 fracture, teeth will be absent on both the sides of the fracture line. This is class 3 Kazanjian or Converse classification. Next we will discuss the AO classification, which was given by Burns Peasel in 1989, and it is also called as FLOSA classification. So in FLOSA classification, F stands for the number of fractures and it is numbered from F0 to F4. So F0 stands for incomplete fracture. Okay. Then F1 stands for a single fracture over here, complete single fracture involving both the cortex of the bone, the buccal cortex and the lingual cortex. You can see over here from this end. Both the cortex are fractured. Is F2, that is multiple fracture. So there may be 2 or more fractures. F3 is the comminuted fracture, such as this. It could be a comminuted fracture. And F4 is the fracture with a bone defect, in which the entire bone will be lost. So suppose there is a fracture over here and this much amount of bone is lost, or a larger amount of bone is lost. Next is the L stands for the localization, and it is numbered from L1 to L8. So that is classified according to its location. So L1 is the precanine fracture, then L2 will be canine fracture here. L3 will be post canine fracture, that is behind the canine over here. L4 is the angle fracture involving the angle of the mandible. L5 is supraangular fracture, that is involving the ascending ramus. Then L6 is the condyle fracture. This is over here, the condyle fracture will be there, and L7 will be coronoid fracture. So a fracture on the coronoid region. And L8 is the alveolar process fracture, the fracture occurring on the alveolar process over here. So you can see that this is the precanine fracture, this is the canine fracture. Over here, this is the post-canine fracture, then the angular fracture, then supraangular fracture, then the condylar fracture. Over here, the coronoid fracture and the alveolar process fracture. So this is the fracture according to the localization. Next comes O. O stands for occlusion, and it is numbered as O0, O1, O2. O0 stands for no malocclusion. O1 stands for malocclusion. O2 stands for non-existent occlusion, that is edentulous mandible. Next is the soft tissue defect, and for that we need to bring in the soft tissue first. So yes, here the entire skin is there, and soft tissue defect are numbered as S0, S4. So S0 is the closed fracture, S1 is the soft tissue injury open intraorally. Let us see this. There will be injury intraorally. Next is open extraorally. So there will be a extraoral injury. The S3 is open intraorally and extraorally. Soft tissue injury both intraorally and extraorally. Next is S4, that is soft tissue defect. So there will be loss of soft tissue over here. So suppose there is loss of right side of the lower lip. The last part of fossa is A, or associated fracture. This is numbered as A0 to A6. A0 stands for no associated fracture. So there will be solely the fracture involving mandible. Then A1 fracture is a fracture in which there is loss of some tooth. See over here. This is A1 fracture. Then A2 fracture is a fracture in which there is fracture of the nasal bone. So there will be fracture over here. A3 fracture is a fracture involving the zygomatic bone fracture along the mandibular fracture. So there will be fracture on the zygomatic bone. Then in A4 fracture there will be Le Fort 1 fracture, in which the fracture line will run from the lateral nasal aperture over here. See, this is the fracture involving Le Fort 1. Then A5 fracture, mandibular fracture involving Le Fort 2 fracture also. And lastly, the A6 fracture. In this, the mandibular fracture involves the Le Fort 3 fracture. This was all about the mandibular fracture. I hope you guys liked the video, and thank you for now.